You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
9 o'clock.
Factual, insightful, and credible. It's Nationwide News Now at 9.
Good morning, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the news for this Sunday morning, January 5, 2025, over 14,000 persons placed in jobs abroad in 2024 under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Overseas Employment Program. Circumstances surrounding the death of an elderly farmer in Trelawney now the subject of a police investigation. Fatal collision claims life of pillion passenger. In news from the region, teen is Tobago's first murder victim for the year. On the international scene, severe U.S. winter storm could bring heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. While in sport, Australia raced to victory and series win over India. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
14,434. That's the number of Jamaicans who were placed in jobs abroad in 2024 under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Overseas Employment Program. The disclosure has come from Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Dion Jennings. Ms. Jennings further disclosed that of the total number of workers who travelled under the Overseas Employment Program last year, 8,255 or 57% travelled to Canada under the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program SWAP. She was speaking at a send-off ceremony for 96 workers to the North American country at the Ministry's Overseas Employment Centre in Kingston on Friday, January 3. She charged the workers who departed for Canada to be good ambassadors for Jamaica. Meanwhile, State Minister Dr. Norman Dunn highlighted that the program is an opportunity for the workers to realize their dreams and aspirations to create a better quality of life for themselves and their families. He encouraged them to perform their duties with diligence and determination, pay keen attention to the requirements of their contracts, and conduct themselves in an appropriate manner at all times. The circumstances surrounding the death of a farmer, 83-year-old Arthur McNeil of Purcell Jackson Town, Trelawney, are now the subject of a police investigation. McNeil was found dead at his residence on Friday, January 3. Reports are about 1:30 p.m. a neighbor who last saw McNeil at a grave digging on Monday, December 30, 2024, went to make checks at his home. On arrival, she noticed flies coming from a window and proceeded to contact the police and the fire department. On their arrival, the body of McNeil was found on the bed in an advanced state of decomposition. The body was removed to the morgue pending a post-mortem. A 32-year-old farmer from Pell River in Hanover has been charged with murder. Romaine Cunningham, otherwise called Mango, is charged with the January 2024 murder of 41-year-old labourer Sheldon Salmon. The Green Island Police report that about 8:40 p.m. on January 21, Salmon was at home in Pen River when men knocked on his door. The men reportedly identified themselves as police. Salmon refused to answer the door. It's further reported that the men, posing as police personnel, kicked in his door and entered his house. They then opened fire, hitting Salmon multiple times. The gunmen then escaped on foot in the area. Salmon was taken to the hospital where he was treated and admitted, but he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead on Thursday, December 26, 2024. Cunningham was arrested 2 days later on Saturday, December 28. He was charged following a question and answers interview in the presence of his lawyer. A magazine containing 14 rounds of ammunition was seized during an operation in the Sea Air Main Road, Alligator Pond, Manchester on Saturday, January 4. Reports from the Alligator Pond police are about 8 a.m. Lawmen were in the area when the magazine was seen lying on the roadway. It was retrieved and inspected. Upon closer examination, it was revealed that it contained 14 9mm rounds of ammunition. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. The police are still investigating the matter. A fatal collision claimed the life of a 28-year-old male pillion passenger on Friday, January 3. The incident took place about 8:30 p.m. along the Three Hills Main Road in the vicinity of what is commonly known as Big D Corner Shop and involved a Red Hawk motorcycle with no registration affixed. Investigations are continuing into the possible causes of the collision. Excessive speed, the pillion passenger not wearing a crash helmet, and inattention or diverted attention have been listed as the possible causes. And now to news in the region. The killing of a 15-year-old boy has left Tobago, particularly Golden Lane residents, grieving and concerned about rising criminal activity on the island. Tobago recorded its first murder for the year, with the victim identified as Paris Joseph, a Form 4 student. At his family's home yesterday, relatives preferred not to talk. However, in a brief conversation, the teen's aunt said she was concerned about the recruitment of young men in the community by gangs. Joseph's body was found yesterday morning. Residents reported hearing gunshots overnight, and the teen's body was found on the roadway around 8 a.m. While one resident claimed Joseph was involved in gang activity, a man who claimed to be a member of a well-known gang denied Joseph was a member. He said young people in the community are looking for opportunities and are finding them in the gang community. On the international scene, millions of Americans are bracing for a huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. The storm started in the middle of the U.S. and will move east in the next couple of days, the National Weather Service says. A state of emergency has been declared in the states of Kentucky, Virginia, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri. In the central U.S., there will be considerable disruptions to daily life and dangerous or possible driving conditions and widespread closures into Sunday, according to the National Weather Service. To sport, Australia raced to victory on day 3 of the 5th test in Sydney to beat India by 6 wickets and win the 5-match series 3-1. Fast bowler Scott Boland took 6 for 45, with India adding just 16 runs to their overnight score to be bowled out for 157. India took 3 wickets before lunch despite captain Jasprit Bumrah being unable to bowl because of injury, but Travis Head and Bew Webster saw Australia to their target of 162 in just 27 overs to regain the Border Gaspalas Trophy. The result also sees Pat Cummins' side qualify for the World Test Championship final at Lord's in June, where they will face South Africa. Virat Kohli, playing his last test in Australia, led India in the field in Bumrah's absence. And now for a recap of the top stories making the news at 9. Over 14,000 persons placed in jobs abroad in 2024 under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Overseas Employment Programme. Circumstances surrounding the death of an elderly farmer in Trelawney now the subject of a police investigation. Fatal collision claims life of pillion passenger. Remember, you can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. This is next at midday, but stay tuned because coming up next is Urban Paradise with Diane Ashton Smith.
Undeniable.